Greetings gamers, my name is Anto and today I'm walking you through SideQuest Annual Volume 2 and showing you what you can expect from the book. This isn't a content complete version, so there's still some missing pages, still a whole issue that isn't actually in here, but it'll give you an example of the kind of quality that you can expect if we fund and meet all our stretch goals. So on the cover here you can see the beautiful new artwork done by our longtime contributing artist Hakunin. This is a collection of our iconic adventurers. So we've got Edmund, the skeleton bard, Blaze, the Ganassi sorcerer, Vathek, the Reaver fighter, and Alara, the human paladin, fighting against a bunch of undead. And if we spin the book round, you can see that continues onto the back, and there's this horde of undead that they are in the middle of fighting. Opening the book up here, you can see this particular copy has the sapphire end pages that are part of one of the stretch goals to include the end pages as well as the ribbon. These really increase the general feel of the book. They don't impact the content at all, but they make the book feel much more premium, and the ribbon in particular is just super useful for being able to keep track of your place in the book while you're reading through it. Then as we dive in, immediately you can see that this isn't content complete because we don't have a dedication yet, and we still have the table of contents from the first annual just as a placeholder here. But as we dive in, you can see that we have the typical layout that we had in the first annual. So each issue is presented chronologically, and at the start we have the splash page that has the cover art for each image without any of the text on it that it had in its original publication, as well as a little thing telling you what issue you're in, and then we go straight into the content itself. So just like in the first annual, there's a wide collection of content available in this book. There are fantastic locations for you to add to your campaigns, various traps and different obstacles that your players might encounter. There are brand new monsters with fantastic artwork for you to include into your games, as well as a whole heap of other things. Advice on world building and creating places of power, adventures. All the adventures included in this follow our typical house style where they're designed to be super runnable. They'll use a common set of breakout boxes that include summaries for each section, so you don't need to read the whole thing ahead of time. You can just read the introduction and then the section summaries to get an idea of what's going on in the adventure. All the read aloud text is in breakout boxes, as well as any information that you might need to remember. Here you can see a big old blank page just waiting for some extra artwork if we hit the stretch goals. And just like in the first annual, we're going to have plenty of magic items included in this book, such as the 6 demon bag, which allows you to draw on one of 6 demons from within to aid you in combat. And if we jump to the cover for this particular issue, you can see our iconic fighter Vathek there using the 6 demon bag, and he's pulled out one of the demons. I believe that is the demon of metal, who is helping him fight against a horde of undead in this chaotic hellscape that he's in here. And then speaking of player options, just like in Annual 1, we've got a whole bunch of new subclass options, including the Reaver, which is a fighter subclass dedicated to bloodlust, and that introduces one of our new iconic characters, Vathek, the Tiefling Reaver fighter. Throughout this book we introduce a bunch of new iconic characters that are present on the cover and are going to be present in other artwork that we do going forward, just like in the last one. And then you'll also get some new ancestry options, such as the Skeleton Ancestry, which introduces Edmund, our iconic bard, and allows you to play as a living skeleton for your ancestry. And then the new big thing for Annual 2 is the Reforged series. This is a collection of articles that take some of the monsters from the 5th edition SRD and remake them, update them, include new options to give you more exciting monsters to use at the table. So for example, in issue 17 we have the Reforged skeletons, which include new shambling skeletons, which are really weak, redone skeleton warriors that work together as a team, as well as new options such as the Keeper of the Bones or the Death Rattle, which is one of my particular favorites. It can disguise itself in the skin of other creatures and jump out and attack people. And then a bunch of other options like knights, brutes, wizards, and giant skeletons. The Reforged series continues all throughout this annual, including giving new options for zombies, ghouls, ghasts, ghosts, vampires, and more. And then there's also a bunch of brand new original monsters included in the book, including the Sanguisuge, which is based on a folklore monster where it's this vampiric creature that appears as a totally normal human during the day and then then at night their torso pulls away from their lower body, grows these bat-like wings, and they fly out into the world in hunt of their prey. SideQuest Annual Year 2 is currently available on Kickstarter. I'll leave a link down in the description below for you to go ahead and check it out and sign up. But until next time, happy gaming.